Hey everybody, vlog time. So, let's get a bit retrospective with this, and I'm gonna lay off the drama, because a lot of this news is old. It's old news, and I don't want to drag up anything like that, but just to give you some clarification. Long time ago, years ago, before I even started my YouTube channel, I used to do text blogs over on That Guy with the Glasses, now Channel Awesome. And man, ever since I discovered the Nostalgia Critic back in, God, probably 2009, 2010, whichever it was, very first video of his I ever saw was of Captain N, the Game Master. And I just randomly discovered it back when I didn't have a computer or anything like that. For my internet usage, I had to use a Nintendo Wii. And that was how I got on YouTube. And one night I was looking around for old video game commercials, and somehow I came upon the Nostalgia Critic, and ever since then I've been hooked. And I mean, I still watch him today. But man, ever since then, I wanted to get on That Guy with the Glasses. I wanted to be a video producer. I wanted to be an entertainer. Still do. Just need to sit my ass down and actually work on making videos is part of the problem. But, that was obviously never going to happen. Because, I don't do videos consistently enough. A lot of my content varies from time to time, and I don't have a consistent schedule that I keep. And there never really will be one, because I don't think this is obviously anything at this point that's going to take off. And I really have no dreams or aspirations to really want to be on Channel Awesome, especially after everything that's happened over the last several years. Because, it's funny. Because, I mean, when I first started blogging and then slowly doing vlogs, which I didn't post a lot of them there, I did still do a couple of blogs, I actually made a couple of friends on there. We don't talk much anymore, sadly, just kind of had a falling out. A bunch of those bloggers actually went off and started their own website, Manic Expressions, which one of the creators actually invited me to. And that was actually where I met Lotus Prince, who is also now on Channel Awesome. Actually has been on there now for a couple of years, just doing Let's Plays. And he was actually one of the first people to actually teach me kind of how to do and how to record, how to set up a Let's Play. I mean, he was actually nice enough to actually kind of talk me through it. And there were a lot of other people on there who were, more than kind enough to teach me how to properly upload a video, onto the blogs and stuff like that. And I haven't posted anything there in a long time now. Of course, that website also went through a few renovations as well. But, I mean, overall, just a really nice and welcoming community, of people, really. Nothing bad ever happened there. I mean, like, the most negative thing ever happened was actually back on the old That Guy with the Glasses blogs, where there was this one fucking guy who everybody knew, guy or girl, whatever, it doesn't matter, they were still a douchebag, went by the name of a free thinker. And, and he would just go on other people's blogs, not everybody's, but basically he was just a common variety troll, where he would, just be an ass. And I did a blog, which, I should have rethought it a bit more, but this was years ago. I had posted a blog about a story that a friend of mine told me about how George Lucas was retiring from films because he was kind of, because according to the article that my friend read to me, was that he was tired of all the criticism and such, when in reality it was he was taking a break from making big movies and he wanted to make smaller movies. And to which, I had a bit of an opinion about that, and I wrote a brief blog about saying, like, George, we don't want you to stop making movies. We want you to stop fucking with our childhood, is what we would like. And I went on a brief little rant. I mean, the blog wasn't very big or anything like that. It was small. And it was, just me, you know, just kind of calling him out on his bullshit and just being like, just stop making shit, you know. And this guy, a free thinker, came in and starts going on and on about how he's sick and tired of hearing people making the joke about, oh, they raped my childhood, da da da. And yeah, that is overused, but it is an overused statement. But the Star Wars prequels were god-awful. They were garbage. They were wooden, fake garbage that had no emotion to them. I still don't like them. Still don't find them in any way, shape, or form enjoyable. Because the characters are poorly written, poorly acted, everything is CGI, nobody has any emotion when they're doing anything, even when they're fighting, there's no emotion, and all the fights feel fake, over-choreographed. They're boring, bad movies. And this guy, you know, he's kind of going into, well, you know, he's ragging on me about my opinion, and I had wanted to say this to him for a long goddamn time, because I dealt with this guy's shit before, and I was just tired of it. And I threw a jab at him saying, you know, I would have thought that that was my right as a free-thinking individual. How incredibly hypocritical of you. And to which he responds, why does everybody feel the need to keep on, you know, throwing in my screen name and all that at me? And it's bullshit. And to which I would say, like, well, don't have such a stupid screen name and don't go saying such incredibly stupid, hypocritical shit like that. You know, and got into this ridiculous argument, and everybody knows, don't feed the trolls. But, you know, when you feel that you're right, you know, you gotta keep arguing. And I said, like, well, it's like if somebody were to take a song, a book, a cartoon, a film, a video game, anything, something that you grew up with, something that spoke to you, something that was a part of your life, a part of your childhood, and said, you know what, fuck all this sentimentality and let's just do this. And reworked it, changed its tone, did all these things that were completely unnecessary just to make money off of it. And to which he said, oh, well, I have no such attachment to such things. And I think, who... Are you a fucking robot? And, you know, and then finally I realized, like, this guy's just an asshole. And finally I just told him, you know what? Just fuck off. I don't want to talk to you. I want nothing to do with you. You're obviously just an ass, so just kindly fuck off. You know, and I do still post an occasional old video, because I still have my blog on there. I don't really do much with it. And it doesn't get a whole lot of action. Of course, then again, neither does my YouTube channel either. But, I mean, it's so sad, because, I mean, I still like some of the producers of Channel Awesome. You know, Doug and Angry Joe and a few others. I stopped watching Sage a while ago, because he just does, you know, just pure anime stuff. Well, I mean, he did, you know, retire, you know, from video game reviews just to focus on doing anime, which is fine, you know, that's his business. But they lost a lot of other people who I really liked. Like, I really liked ON Citizen, who left. I wasn't a huge fan of Phaelus, you know, but I did like him. Wasn't a huge fan of Lupa, but I enjoyed her too. And God, was there a huge controversy about them leaving. And it wasn't just that they simply left. It was that they got into fights with management. Management accused Phaelus, because apparently Phaelus did a bunch of the effects for To Boldly Flee, and they thought he was half-assing it because they were paying him this time. And they were like, well, according to Phaelus, because he posted this on a forum about it, because he had to wait, I guess, a while before he could actually tell anybody about his side of the story, that they also passive-aggressively were trying to figure out, like, is he trying to screw us, you know, because we're paying him? And it's like, God, how long have you guys known this guy? I mean, like, I thought you guys would be, like, friends at this point, and it's like, wow, really? Like, you gotta accuse you know, one of your friends, one of your employees of trying to screw you just because you're now paying them. You know, my friend Quick Kick. Now, I don't know him personally. I mean, we are friends on Facebook, have been for probably the last year or so, perhaps even a little bit longer. I originally met him on Spill. Never met him in person. Hell, if I ever visit Austin, Texas, to get to meet Rage Select, I would hope that I get to meet him and that we could hang out and chat, because he's been on our podcast a few times. You know, and seems like a perfectly cool, nice guy. He does, you know, a bunch of my cover art, you know, for Indie Zombie, for the podcast, and for a few other things. And, you know, and I sought him out on the Rage Select comment section, because I didn't know how to get a hold of him, because I knew he did really good Photoshop work, and I didn't know how to do that shit, and I was looking for a cover artist. And I said, like, I really love your stuff, and I would love it if you could, you know, at first it was just this one little cover for me. And I told him, like, I can't really offer you that much, but I still want to pay you for your work. And if I remember correctly, I think at first he said, oh, man, you know, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, you don't have to give me anything. And my sort of response is, I feel obligated to give you something. Now, I can't give you much, but I want to give you something for your work. And he's been doing this ever since. You know, we have a pretty good deal where if it's anything new, I'll give him a little bit more. If it's already an established series, you know, we already have an established payment method, you know, that I'll give him. You know, and you know, and like we run through everything, usually requires a few days. Of course, I always tell him, like, oh, you can take as much time as you need, it's fine. And it's been like that ever since. And if I ever, you know, do have a problem, you know, with how the cover works, I can tell him, and then he can just make a quick correction. It's that simple. You know, it's called, you know, just being direct, being honest, and not being a dick about it. You know, and so that whole thing really pisses me off. The fact that apparently that you couldn't, you know, just talk to your friend about it, and I mean, I only watched the movie once. I think I own it, too, I think. Keyword think. But To Boldly Flee was, like, not the best. Maybe I'll sit down someday and I'll review all of the original Channel Awesome movies. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But, and, like, I remember his special effects being pretty damn good, and thinking that, so, it's in your mindset that because you paid him, and he, you know, would send you, you know, the results of what he was doing, and all this for, you know, for analysis, and then, you know, for you to ask, like, how does this look, and, you know, does this look good? Because these are the same conversations that I have with Quick Kick about, you know, the cover art. He always sends me an example and says, how does this look? Is there anything else, you know, that you would like? You know, and of course, you know, I always love his stuff. You know, but I will always be honest about, can you highlight this more? Can you move this over here? Actually, this needs to be like this. You know, I'll always make corrections, and he always delivers. You know, and it's that simple bit of honesty. You know, I mean, if you're not satisfied with it, you can tell him. Now, yeah, you know, don't be a dick and be like, oh, this sucks, and no, you know, don't be a dick. But there's that, and then apparently that Lupa was confronted by Mashad in private about the whole Patreon thing, and I guess various other things, so much to the point, and this was all written in their blogs, that Lupa was basically harassed to the point where she cried. Now, I do wonder exactly how truthful that is. I mean, I don't want to call her a liar or anything like that, or anything stupid, but man, is that shitty. And what's even funnier, and I only spoke to this person briefly over Twitter, and that was Holly Kristen, who I guess was a former, I forget what it is, but basically she was kind of a liaison between the company and the producers, where she, I don't want to say like customer support or anything like that, but yeah, but she, you know, did, you know, a lot of the support, and, you know, she was kind of the in-between, and everybody loved her. Well, apparently, they just fired her. I don't know why, but they just fired her. And I mean, I had I had a few brief chats with her via Twitter. I remember at one point because I had problems trying to reset up my blog over on over on That Guy with Glasses, and she was nice enough to help me out and everything. And she was always nice, always nice. She was never mean or anything, or like, dude, fuck off, loser. I don't know who you are. No, she was always nice, and she was very helpful. And then when I was having a problem later on, I asked her about it. She said, I actually don't work with Channel Awesome anymore. And to which I was like, oh, well, I'm sorry. And it's like, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. And, there was that. And, but then also, and Citizen left. And I mean, I know Nostalgia Chick left, Lindsay left, of course. She announced that quite a while ago that she was going to be leaving, doing obviously bigger and better things. And I mean, I still like her stuff, but there were times where she could just be too critical, which is a weird thing to kind of mark against somebody. And I mean, I still like a few of the other producers. Like, I do still enjoy Linkara, but every once in a while he does something that kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like, he did a video a while ago where he was talking about, his Patreon thing, which I used to do, but I stopped because it kind of wasn't worth it, and I was already giving so much money to so many different people that it was getting ridiculous. He did something a while ago. Well, he said about something that really rubbed me the wrong way, and that was this. And it's in his video, and this was from maybe a month ago. He was talking about how his Patreon works, and his Patreon request works, and how every once in a while he still gets people who send him money in the mail along with a comic book or whatever it is, and demand that he review it. Well, he was making a stance in this video, and it was that if you send me money along with something that you want me to review in the mail, if I decide not to review it, I'm going to keep the money. And boy, oh boy, for me, did that really rub me the wrong way. Because, I mean, I don't even like the idea of somebody offering me a download code to review or play a game on my channel. I would rather, pay for it myself. Hell, I wouldn't even be comfortable with with somebody sending me money in the mail along with a game or a movie saying, please review this. I would, more than likely, I would send the money back and say to them, please don't send me money. That makes me very uncomfortable. And it just also feels kind of scummy, too, to me, to be like, well, I'm not going to review this, but I'm going to keep your money. And sometimes these are people who send you hundreds of dollars, and he said that this person sent him $1,000. And it's like, dude, that's really scummy to decide, not only am I not going to review this, which I can understand, because you can, decide about what you're going to review and what you're not, but to also decide I'm just going to keep the money, so fuck you. It's just, wow, dude, that is so douchey. That is so douchey to do that. And I still enjoy his stuff, but god damn, that's just kind of sickening to me a little bit. There are a lot of things too. I mean, Lord Cat, he's not on Channel Awesome. Hell, I mean, he left them a long time ago. Spoonie left. Well, there are some people who said, oh, well, he got fired or he left. No, apparently he left. I mean, hell, he got to be on Doug's interview show, and they said, no, everything between us is actually fine. We're still good. We're still friends. Hell, he was in Doug's review of the Wicker Man remake. Him and Brad, there at the end to basically show that, yeah, we're on good terms, dude. We're still friends. So, but yeah, Spoonie, that's another one. I want to see if the video is going to reset. Is it gonna? Yeah. Reset. My video now my camera now resets at the 20-minute mark. Thanks. I'm sure there's a way to fix it. I have no idea how. Anyway, Spoony. Jesus. This is something I didn't want to have to talk about again. Hell, I even went so far as to delete that old vlog that I made about the night when Spoony got fired or left. I used to be a huge fan of Spoony. I used to love Spoony. I loved all of his reviews and everything. I mean, hell, his Final Fantasy VIII video, was what, really got me to him. Of course, Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy XII, and all this, and he became, of course, the Final Fantasy guy, which he said at one point, I don't want to be the Final Fantasy guy. It's like, well, then don't, do other stuff. Too. I mean, yeah, sure, you could come back to the well, which he did, but it's like, you could do other stuff too. Hell, you could have done Metal Gear if you wanted to. Hell, that would have been pretty damn funny if you'd done that. But and it was one thing that he did that bothered me that is stupid, and that's when he did a video a while ago and he ripped on the nerd, claiming that, oh, well, he's not a real gamer, because he doesn't know what he's talking about with his whole, Sega Genesis versus a Nintendo video, and I remember actually feeling personally offended by that, but I realize now that that was just a stupid joke. Was all it was. It wasn't anything meant to be taken seriously. It was Spoony being hyperbolic. It's a little bit more to it than that, I realize now. It's the fact that, and this is something that everybody has hated about Spoony from the beginning, or not really hated, but just something that's just so damn annoying. And not the crossovers. I didn't mind the crossovers. Frankly, if you don't like something, you don't have to watch it. You can just go off and go watch something else. No, what really got to me was the vlogs. The vlogs got to me. Especially, I think the worst example, because I loved Counter Monkey, when it first started, and he could have done so much more with that too. He could have shorted him down. Hell, he could have done animated versions of Counter Monkey, where he just tells out the story, then he takes and edits down the audio, and maybe just some of his own dramatizations with it, and has one of his buddies who's an animator do it, and it could be short, maybe 5 to 10 minutes or something like that, and they would be brilliant and they'd be funny and everybody would love them. But that would probably cost quite a bit of money to do, but that's what you got to do when you want to make something that's good. But the worst example was his RoboCop remake review vlog with him and his girlfriend, which was a 3-part video, and each part was an hour fucking long. Are you serious? A 3-hour vlog on one movie? I did a brief vlog on the remake after my brother and I saw it, and I thought it was okay. It's probably a very forgettable movie, but I didn't think it was terrible. And I think my vlog was only 20 fucking minutes. And that was by myself. And so, now, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched the first part, and I could not believe that this was a 3-part video, and each video was about an hour long. And I'm thinking, what the hell are you two talking about? Are you going through the movie frame by frame? And are you bringing in the original, just for context and reference? And because that's just unfucking necessary. And there were a lot of other things, there was the whole controversy on Twitter that, yeah, really bothered me. Of course, Spoony's always been like that. He's always been hyperbolic, and hell, Spoony's comment section on his website, on his YouTube page, gone. Deleted. Comments are no longer allowed, which is also incredibly shitty. Of course, Spoony's always been really shitty to his fans. Not really giving them anything that they want, anything that they request. Now, yeah, fans can be pretty douchey and pretty demanding sometimes, but there can be good ones, too. But yeah, there was that, and there's just a lot of weird shit going on, and it's funny too because so much had been going on, and then douses fuel on the fire and just makes it worse, and 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 it's funny too because you think that he would have alienated like so many people from doing that, and I suppose he did, but you know, he came out somewhat unscathed, where he's still okay with Channel Awesome. He just prefers to just remain solo or indie, but I guess he does have a Patreon page because he, you know, he still does stuff on YouTube, and he still has his page and everything. So it's just you know, I just don't get it. And Lord Cat, I liked his Until We Win series. It was okay. I mean, I never thought he was funny. I never really liked him. I just found him just kind of obnoxious. And the best example of that was when Spoonie was still doing a lot of his wrestle stuff, and you know, and he was looking for somebody else to do one of the other wrestling segments, because Sean, or as some people might have known him as, the Epic Fail guy. I don't even know if he's still even doing anything. I mean, I know he kind of retired or quit like video making, but he was still doing some live stream stuff because he did a live playthrough of Resident Evil 6 at one point, like after it first came out. But for a little while, when Spoonie was still doing Wrestle series, he would cover SmackDown, and I think Sean did Raw, and he asked if Lord Cat, who was still a friend of his, if he would cover the other show, the NWA or whatever the hell it was, and you know, and Lord Cat posted a video on it, and it was terrible. It was fucking boring, and it wasn't funny because it's him sitting up close to his web camera, or like, yeah, so like this guy came out and he like said a bunch of stuff, and I was just like, really, dude? I mean, really? And it was like that for several fucking minutes, and it's just, is this supposed to be funny? Because it's not. It's just, it's pointless, and it's stupid. And, you know, of course, his big rant against Spoonie about Spoonie going off on everybody, and then I understand that his biggest problem about it was that Spoonie did not own up to it, he did not apologize, and that he just kind of kept letting it just get worse, and him just being a giant prima donna about it. Yes, that is right. You know, you are right about that. Spoonie was very wrong about that. He should have apologized, and he should have stopped right there. He should have just backed away from Twitter and just gone and done something else. But apparently some people just don't know how to keep their mouths shut. And, man, I don't know if I am going to post this video again. It's just, you know, because a lot of this stuff is old shit. It's old shit that doesn't need to be brought up. It doesn't need to be talked about again. You know, and there have been a lot of people, I guess, still talking, well, even from maybe like a year ago, about if Channel Awesome still continues this way, because, I mean, there's still, like, there are people who used to be there that aren't there anymore. Like, I was actually surprised that Video Games Awesome Live isn't there anymore, but I understand why they're not. They probably were not well advertised on the website and figured, like, this is kind of stupid, and Blip sucks, so we're just going to fuck off and just go keep on doing our YouTube thing. So, yeah, just a lot of weird, bad business practices, you know, it sounds like, and just people not being honest, people choosing to be passively aggressive really for no reason. And, I mean, kind of makes me glad that I never did anything to make it big to get, you know, somebody else's attention, especially somebody like Channel Awesome, because I do wonder how long I would have stayed on there. More than likely, I would have been, like, under the radar person where, like, yeah, every once in a while I get, you know, some stuff, but overall nobody really cares. I probably would have been poorly advertised as well, and eventually been like, you know, I'm not really making any money here, and I'm not getting any help either. So this is kind of shitty. Screw this. I'm leaving. See ya. That's probably what it would have been like. And it's funny too, because there are some guys that are still on there that I didn't think were still on there. Like Guru Larry is still on there apparently, and it's like I thought he went off and did his own YouTube thing, but no, apparently he's still on there too. It's, you know, and I'm okay with him, but some of his cracks about game journalism every once in a while, and it's like, dude, you do top 10 and top 5 lists. You're not much of a game journalist either. Well, anyway, I'm sorry. This has been a stupid, stupid rant. And again, I don't even know if I'm going to post this. God, this is like a half-hour long. It's just old internet drama. And, I mean, I guess people just get too big is part of the problem sometimes. They get too big. They get an ego about how their business needs to run. They try to force it on other people. And instead of... You know, because there was also a lot of stuff, like, Channel Awesome was, like, heavily against Patreon at the time. Of course, you know, now, you know, they use that along with Indiegogo. You know, like, for a long time, they would not allow any of their producers to advertise their Patreon page. Like, at all. Until it was okay for, you know, maybe someone like Brad to do it. And then everybody was like, wait, so it's okay for him to do it, but it's not okay for me to do it? And then, you know, it was like a double standard. You know, it was just ridiculous. There's just a lot of weird, dumb shit just going on there that just did not make any sense. And it didn't help either that they weren't willing to do their research about what Patreon was and how it worked. So, anyway, I'm sorry. It's just a lot of stupid shit. So, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to go watch some movies or play some video games. You know, in fact, you know, I'd like to hear, you know, what other people think. If anybody's even interested in this at all. Again, I don't know if I'm going to post this. Anyway, don't be a dick, and take care of yourselves. See ya.